Episode 2 of Heated Rivalry is where they realize nothing about what they're doing is casual now. Ilya and Shane win Olympic medals in yearning and realize catching feelings is a much more dangerous game than hockey. Episode 1's sizzling chemistry and delicious tension ramps up into devastatingly beautiful intimacy, with feelings coming to a rolling boil, ready to spill over. So, since neither of them has the time or emotional capacity, let's be real, to unpack all that, they slap a lid on it and call it a day. But they're about to learn one of the hardest lessons: that you can try to repress your emotions and push away the object of your affections. But at the end of the day, you cannot escape your own feelings, because wherever you go, there they are. Ilya is persistently trying to get that cookie over the course of 2 years, where they see each other but don't hook up. Finally, Shane lets him in and gives him the house tour of all the floors, if you will. There's banter, there's soft forehead kisses, there's real intimacy, and then Ilya has to lock it all away to protect himself while they're in friendly Russia for the Sochi Olympics, where Ilya brushes Shane off, but still uses his texts as a grounding tether. Shane watches Ilya go on to win the cup and feels the ache of the great divide that's formed between them since they went all the way. Then in Vegas, we get the most distant hookup yet, with them both looking despondent afterwards as they continue to fail at having a conversation, and Shane leaves bereft and reeling, regretting that they didn't even kiss. In this episode, we break it all down, looking at how the production choices absolutely made this story soar, from blocking and lighting to costuming and direction. And of course, the insanely nuanced and talented performances from Hudson Williams as Shane Hollander and Connor Story as Ilya Rozanov. We compare the differences in emotional beats from Rachel Reid's best-selling novel in this episode, and why all the changes worked in the visual form's favor. We also take a moment to affectionately roast our boys, escort a bad fandom take into the sin bin, where it belongs, and deliver both the jokes and analysis with a generous serving of chaotic but thoughtful vibes and a metric ton of innuendo, which is not really our fault. These boys might be a mess, but your hosts are being driven to madness in the best possible way, though. So strap on in. Hopefully your color is green, because this episode is about to go. Have you ever watched something that completely rewired your brain chemistry?
A mini-series about hockey might not be your usual pick, but it's ours.
This is the Buddy System, Heated Rivalry version.
Hosted by 4 friends who have DM'd each other enough TV dissertations to earn a PhD in media literacy.
I'm Han.
I'm Sil.
I'm Rachel.
And I'm Nikki.
With our powers combined,
No stone is left unturned.
And nobody is left behind.
Hey Siri, play Fooled Around and Fell in Love.
This week we are discussing Season 1, Episode 2 of Heated Rivalry, titled Olympians.
Based on the series Game Changers by Rachel Reid, written and directed by Jacob Tierney,
Starring Hudson Williams as Shane Hollander and Connor Story as Ilya Rozanov.
The director of photography is Jackson Perrell, and it originally aired on November 28th, 2025.
Are you ready for some post-game highlights?
Okay, so since we're talking about episode 2, we want to go over a quick post-game highlights, which is like our summary of the episode, especially because it bounces around so much in the timeline.
So much. Like, for example, we have a montage jumping from 2011 to spring of 2013 of our delightful guys just texting back and forth, being the little yearners that they are.
And uber freaky.
Can't forget that.
Can't forget that.
Never.
Then we're in winter of 2013. They're still doing their freaky texting. Ilya is texting Shane before the Boston versus Metros game. And they're just still doing the most.
He's been trying to get that cookie for 2 years,
Whole years.
For 2 whole years. Man is committed.
Never back down, never. What? Oh my God.
So after the game, Shane lures Ilya to a dark back alley to maybe murder him. And Ilya's into it. They banter in the stairwell. Ilya says, "You missed me." As Shane storms up the stairs, embarrassed he was, in fact, hard the entire game.
Oh my God, I didn't even. Yeah.
Then they race. They talk about Shane being Mr. Businessman, Mr. Landlord. And then they make love. Yeah, because that's what that was. They're both fucked. Well, Shane literally, but both of them emotionally, because it's clear from the feelings being broadcast during this tender ass first time that they're falling for each other. From the forehead kisses, it's like so like neon sign bright that like this is like Danger Will Robinson. So Ilya,
it's like when what was supposed to be fucking turns cute. That's when you're like, oh yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
It's the forehead kiss, right? It's the forehead kiss. And then Ilya's like, I'm in danger. So
I have to go.
He tries to get the hell out of Dodge and then somehow finds himself in an even tenderer like goodbye.
Yes.
That's like because it's much more them, like it's banter. So it's like them being like, you're boring. Fuck you, you're an asshole, which is how they say I love you. It's like as you wish in The Princess Bride.
Correct.
But yeah, so it's that, and then there's like these sweet longing kisses. Gross.
We love
Disgusting.
Disgusting.
Affectionate.
That is also how Sil says she loves something. Okay, so then we're in 2014 in the Winter Olympics in Sochi, Russia. Ilya's hometown, or not hometown, homeland. And Shane hasn't heard from Ilya in a little while, and he's just like looking at his text messages, trying to ask like, "Hey, are you okay?" And gets nothing in return because the Russia team lost terribly to the Latvian team. And while Shane is in this cafe, Scott Hunter and Carter Vaughn from the New York Admirals come in and sit and chat with them in the cafe, and they make plans to go see one of Shane's buddies who he trained with do his figure skating routine. Carter says like, "Wow, it must be pretty brave because I'm assuming that guy's gay." And then you just see Homatron 1 in 2000 just like eating their frozen yogurt or whatever it is, just like in awkward silence.
They are error 404, just like across both of their faces.
They're like, must be normal. Doesn't know what normal looks like. And then when they're at the figure skating, Shane excuses himself because he spots Ilya from like a mile away all across the rest of like the rink. And Ilya is standing by himself, very solemn. And Shane tries to talk to him, just be like, "Hey, how's it going? Are you okay?" And Ilya completely shuts him down, tells him to go away. And he's left alone. He pushes him away.
I know, sadly. But we kind of see that turmoil and the reason why sort of reveal itself a little more obviously in the next scene when we're at the gala with Ilya's dad and our queen Svetlana and Sasha.
He's also there.
He's also there.
Or
Rocco is right. Because, you know, Ilya's dad is very clearly upset about the loss of the game in their own home country. Very embarrassing. Is this when he calls Ilya lazy?
No, that wasn't the first episode. But he
episode.
basically said, like, it's all your fault.
It's all your fault. Yeah.
Which it wasn't.
Yeah, exactly.
He was like, our goalie was hurt and the team wasn't clicking. And he's like, I don't care that it's a team sport.
Yeah, literally.
You're
like,
the captain.
You must win on your own.
Yeah.
But Svetlana, we love her. She rescues Ilya and takes him to this, like, extravagant bathroom.
Bigger than my apartment.
Like what are we doing with this bathtub in the middle of the gala? But whatever. And she's like, it's been a while since you've seen our dear friend Sasha. If you need to release some tension trying to play.
Boy.
I was going to say more like, what is it when you have like a wingman kind of
Mm-hmm.
to let Ilya kind of let the tension off. But it doesn't work because Ilya is down bad for somebody and it is not Sasha. And Sasha is just like, play with me. You used to like playing with me.
Oh my God.
Pay attention.
I
to
picture
me.
him like shimmying because sachet, right?
That's pretty close to what he did, actually.
Yeah.
I'm not wrong.
No.
But it's not working. It's not working. And then, ultimately, obviously, nothing happens.
Ilya cannot be moved.
Yeah.
So we jump into spring 2014, where we have Ilya's amazing locker room speech right before the game between Boston and San Francisco to win the Stanley Cup.
It's just
They just call it the cup
Okay.
for legal reasons.
right,
legal
right,
reasons,
right.
and in the book too.
Reason-
I
yeah.
think it's just the cup.
Honestly, like it's the I want to fuck San Francisco speech. Listen, it's a good speech because I was getting ready to
It's
get
a
my
great
skates.
speech.
Yeah.
I own a pair of skates. I was getting ready. I was like, yeah, let's go fuck San Francisco. Anyway, I to the city of San Francisco, I actually have no
The fictional
heated rivalry.
San Francisco, and yes.
Thank you, Rachel.
Yeah, they could get fucked, but
could
not
get
you.
Meanwhile, Shane is also watching the cup from Hayden's house with the rest of the team, and he gets to watch Ilya win, and he's so touched and happy for him. It's so cute.
and other things. Lots of complex emotions.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
Happening.
But he looks very happy for him. Either way.
He does. And then summer 2014 happens, and it's time for the MLH Awards again. And our boys are presenting an award together, super awkwardly. Starting with Ilya showing up right before they're supposed to go on, and Shane sounds jealous while he asks who he was with. He didn't even say he was with someone. He was just like, I was busy. So he just assumes that he was fucking someone, probably because his like speeches are like, let's go fuck all of San Francisco. I digress. After Ilya trails his hand down Shane's back and lets it linger. You have to let it linger. Their job is done, and the real angst can start. Shane finds a bathroom to relieve himself emotionally, but Ilya follows him. They have another not talk where Shane calls him out for ghosting him for 6 months, and Ilya deflects by talking about, you guessed it, sex. The tension and yearning from both of them in this bathroom is a lot. Ilya makes Shane wait and promises they'll reward whoever wins MVP in his hotel room later. Shane is impressed with how good Ilya's English has gotten. After he calls him boring. So is genetic. Wow, genetic. God, you're so
Genetic.
fucked. Yeah. So they do kiss, and that somehow makes the tension worse. And then Ilya leaves, and then Shane is wiping tears away in the mirror. We all need to die.
And just when you thought the tension couldn't get any more delicious, we enter the penthouse of the Vegas hotel. And apparently, Ilya has won MVP, and he is ready and waiting for his prize. And
The penthouse? The pent up the house? Sorry, I don't know.
It's pent up with
no,
something.
No,
man, I
like,
wish I
for
thought of
real.
that. Oh, the pent up house.
Truly. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, so we learn Ilya has won, and according to their deal, Shane has to do whatever Ilya wants. And boy, does he have something in mind. So we're left to take in some of the tension as Ilya drags a chair from like one part of the hotel room to the other to sit it in front of the bed, tells Shane to get on the bed because he wants to watch him. He wants to see him. What do you even say about this?
You say nothing. You're you.
Afterwards, Shane tries to talk to Ilya again, tries to talk to him about if he's going back home to Russia for the summer. And Ilya just kind of like brushes him off and does not open up a little bit. And as Shane is leaving and he's in the elevator, he starts texting, "We didn't even kiss." And then sadly backspaces each individual character and doesn't send it. The end.
We all need to die.
I would like.
And now we all need to
that's
die.
where I wanted to die.
Yeah.
Ugh. End scene.
Looks like it's time for a line change. So this leads us to our line change. Just our review and reaction to the episodes.
I mean, I really enjoyed this episode. There's a lot to love about this episode. Specifically, the increasing bubbling over of emotions that we get as the time goes on, like starting especially with those little sexting messages that they have going on before the game, the absolute fucking delight when they're actually in front of each other again, and Ilya's like, how were you hard whole game? Like, please. Please. Yes, he was.
Sweet.
The goodbye in the stairwell after, like, some of those sort of goodbye moments are like my favorite things about these first couple episodes, which is so sad when you think about it.
No.
But I just really enjoy how like a little bit of that vulnerability sort of slips through every time, because neither one of them actually wants to just leave awkwardly.
No, they can't help but be a little vulnerable there.
Right. The locker room speech is fucking amazing. The way his face just transforms and the sweat and the determination, it touches something deep primal within me every time.
Trying really hard not to make a joke right now.
I was trying to find the word primal and I couldn't find it, but
You found it.
I found it eventually. I got there.
How much?
How many deeps does it take? What?
Yeah, how deep did you have to go in?
Before you found the P spot.
I was like, does it make you feel like a feral coyote?
I was gonna make that joke
I'm
during
not
the
gonna say
summary.
no.
No, we can. It's fine.
I'm not gonna say no. No, I love it. I think it's fun. It is also sexy. Yes, as everybody is teasing me. And then of course,
Come on, reach
wow.
within yourself. Come on.
Then of course, Shane gets big sad, big emotional on the couch, seeing that Ilya has won, and I think that is probably my standout scene for the episode. Despite all the little tiny sexy ones that there are throughout, is just seeing him on the couch going through the entire spectrum of emotion about this man that he very clearly cares for and is very happy for and proud of, but also like, that should be me. I wish it was me. I wish I was there to experience it. Good episode. There's a lot happening, but also a lot to love about it.
So I think this is actually one of the two, I guess, favorite episodes of out of the 6, because I think I do have like 2 episodes that are my favorite. So it's this one and maybe 4.
She had her eyes closed, but I was holding up 4 immediately. I was like, I know her.
Wow.
It's the angst.
Yeah. I'm here for angst.
Yeah.
And they gave her a tattoo needle drop twice.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Come on.
Oh, I can't wait to talk about episode
Me
4,
too.
but that's not now.
Anyway, this is definitely one of my favorites because I'm I'm a bitch for angst. I don't know how else to explain it. I can't. But yeah, I mean, there's just so many like good moments from like their, the scene with their first time and how like soft they're being, but it's still angsty going through the episode. And then we get to that bathroom scene after the awards where Shane is crying kind of. And I don't know, just like good acting from Hudson Williams, really good. He really delivered that coyote depraved.
I can't get that
Like
out
a
of my
hungry
head now.
coyote, just a weeping
sad little coyote,
starving.
He's so desperate. I love it here.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah, he really did a good job with that. He really nailed it.
But
yeah, I don't know. It good.
good.
It good.
Yeah, no, my brain keeps just going back to that first time at the apartment. You'll murder me, Hollander. It's just
You'll murder me.
It's just a good
Maybe.
scene. And the bathroom scene. And the last scene. And I don't know, like, man, that episode is really
The
good.
whole
The whole
episode
episode is
so
good.
good.
I have no notes
so good.
except it good. It good episode.
It was so good. It was so good. It's so interesting, like going, like revisiting these, but also like looking back at it because in retrospect, because we watched these live, and just like the fact that episodes 1 and 2 dropped on the same day.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, oh my God, we covered so much in like those 2 hours. Like it's so interesting to have like basically a whole movie of that and still have 4 episodes left to watch. The viewing experience was really cool and interesting because we got to spend so long with all of these characters, like the introduction and bringing us to the end of the episode with the "we didn't even kiss" text, backspace.
That scene it wasn't right. It wasn't in the book. It was such a good addition that I know we already said it that we should have just killed ourselves, but I really mean like I was ready to get a noose.
Oh my God.
It was such a good, it's just one of the many like good examples of like how well Jacob Tierney did adapting it, because that is one of the internal thoughts. I think it's like the last line of the chapter is just like Shane being like, Shane realized
they didn't even kiss, and he found that he regretted it.
Yeah.
Like,
and I feel like actually the showing him do it and then like painstakingly delete each letter and then like bang his head on the elevator was worse.
Yeah.
It was worse.
It was bad.
So much worse.
Literally.
it was a bit of a gut punch of a line in the book. It was like, oh, and then seeing it, like, we'll talk about this with the production and with the differences between book to screen adaptation, but like, oh man.
Literally.
Yeah.
I wanted to buy some rope, but not for the fun stuff. Take that out.
Maybe a little bit for the fun stuff.
That's not fun.
Oh my God.
Okay. Just to like reiterate, I think all of the changes, because I think episode 2 is where we start to see some of that divergence from the book a little more. And I think just like, again, as a very general statement, all of the choices that are being made to change things from the books are being made with such great care and intention. And that makes sense in the story that's being told on screen. I won't be able to say that enough. Like, all of the changes they made are so good. It helps differentiate the book and the show. So they become like two entities, like with in a Venn diagram, and they kind of like the middle is kind of like the world that they share. All of the choices, really smart.
I do have something I want to generally say. Like, I won't get too deep into like the details of what I'm about to say, because we will in several sections. But I think this was like the biggest episode where I was like, what's happening? For at least the first half of the episode, like as someone who read, the entire series, but also reread the book right before the episodes dropped, where I was like, what are we doing? I kind of was like, okay, we're taking different parts from different spots and combining it and making the timeline different for like their first time. And then I was like, while I was watching it, I was like, I don't know if I like that. And then I was like, completely forgot. like once it started happening, like their actual first time. And I think like it was such a good decision to do it the way he did it. And I think it just made so much more sense to do it that way for the visual medium.
Yeah.
Because I think it expresses a lot more progression in where they are emotionally for each other at that point than you could get across if he had stuck with like how it's actually told in the book, because they kind of took like 2 different times they slept together and smushed them together and like and then also added in some different stuff, took out some stuff, but it works. It's honestly one of my favorite, not just like changes, it's just like one of my favorite scenes from the show, like is that whole opening montage, them being so playful, texting back and forth, and like just seeing them like talk and not actually fuck.
Like build more of a relationship in that way.
And just like have more of like the tension of like waiting for that to happen. Because it wasn't like Shane was like, I don't know, hemming and hawing about like wanting to do it. Like he wanted to do it. So it was just like building up the tension. And then like that scene was just crazy. Like I feel like I didn't have the feeling that scene gave me like in the book for a scene until like further into part 3.
It like made it more special.
Yeah.
Because of that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They managed to slow burn.
Well, so much time was passing so quickly.
Yeah. They managed to slow burn 2 couples who had already slept together. Like that's hard to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, just masterful episode again. It's so good. We watched this the same, right after we watched episode 1 because they both dropped at the same time. And I was so happy and obsessed. I was obsessulated.
Yeah.
I was obsessulated. Like I was ascending to a different moral plane, and like that change at the end of like actually seeing with the text. So good. And I think it was actually, I don't know if they dropped the first 2. Like I would love to ask Jacob like why they chose to drop the first 2 together and then everything else one at a time. If it was just that those 2 were done. Or if it was like a mastermind thing where it was like, yeah, they're both cliffhangers, but the end of 2 is going to make you be like, okay, but what the fuck is happening now?
Like they really hooked you. Yeah.
Yes. Because like it's a cliffhanger at the end of 1 where it's like, oh, he's walking away, but like Ilya doesn't want him to. But 2, it's like
emotionally devastating.
Yes, it is. It's like a knife to the gut.
Yeah. Whoever's decision it was to do that.
Good job. All right. I think that brings us to our chirp of the week.
You're 45 years old. Go home.
Does anyone else have one, or am I just making fun of Ilya?
I had one kind of about Shane, but then I felt bad because I was like,
why? Do you want me to make it because I'm on the spectrum? Is it all about all the chirps for him are always going to be about his fucking autistic quirks? Like it just is.
I know, because I was going to be like, Shane, stop trying to get Ilya to talk about Russia. He doesn't want to talk about Russia. Oh my God. But then I was like, but I feel bad because he's just trying to talk to him and get him to open up a little more, and then like is shut down because he doesn't understand that is a sore spot for Ilya. And I'm just like, yeah.
My only little chirp was for Shane when he's receiving the texts from Ilya right before the game. And he's very much like, he's like, we're about to fucking play a game. Why are you doing this? But also like, like I just twirling his hair.
Girl, like, you could not answer. Girl, you could put your phone down.
Right. Like you kept talking.
Dude.
Yeah. And neither one of them could stop looking at their phone. Just like looking at the bubbles. Like
yes. No, they were both glued. Glued.
And like, Marlowe's like next to him, just staring at him like, what a fucking loser.
In the words of the wonderful Troy Bolton, you gotta get your head in the game, guys. Like, what
they
are we
do
doing?
Need to get their heads in the game.
Yuna would be
I think like sexting before the game is the closest they ever get to like game interference.
Yes. Yeah.
Ilya being like, Russians don't blush. You don't see Russians blush.
You don't do this.
Girl.
You're blushing.
We watched a whole montage of you blushing at the beginning of this episode.
That spanned over 2 years of blushing.
While you had your necklace in your mouth, like, be so for real. My chirp is, Ilya lying about his size, like Shane hasn't greeted that appendage with his tonsils. First of all, why do we need to lie about her? Like, I don't know, maybe it's an in-joke, or maybe he's just like, he doesn't know Imperial. He's not American, so I can just say 9 inches and it'll sound impressive.
Well, what is his, do we know what his dick size is canonically?
I mean, it's canonically big. I did just reread like these because I just like skimmed through the chapters before we do our episodes, right? So I reread the first time again, and it was like Shane thinking about like how he already knew how like big it was, but somehow like knowing it was going to go inside him was different.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I read that part, but
we don't have canonical measurements.
Right. So is he lying?
Well, Rachel Reid said he's lying.
I think he's lying. Like, based on that picture, I think yes. Unless it's a really weird straight above angle.
I need to leave.
No, I paused and zoomed.
I did not. So that's why when I saw this note, I was like, is he lying though? Do we know that?
I don't think 9.
Maybe. He's probably giving himself that extra inch. He's a man. Like,
I think he already knew Shane can't do math, so.
Only if it's hockey. Kind of like we can only do math when it's Taylor Swift.
Has anyone ever asked Rachel Reid what is canonical?
Right.
Put it in our document. Questions to ask Rachel Reid and or Jacob Tierney.
How big it be?
Is he lying?
Or is that, okay, I guess my question
We're hard-hitting journalism podcast, okay?
I guess my question that is, even if it is or it isn't 9 inches, why is the Russian saying inches at all? Because no one uses imperial except for us dumb fucks.
No, you're right.
He lives in America now.
Okay, sure.
It does feel a little incorrect, though.
Well, okay, maybe he has adjusted to like sexting with like Americans.
Maybe he'd joke.
Yeah.
I don't know. We don't know his real size, but I'm just off that picture. I just don't think 9. And Rachel Reid was like, he's lying. So.
Oh, did she say that? Okay.
She did.
Right,
yeah, she confirmed. I think it was on an Instagram story because everyone's like, oh my God. And she was like, is liar told you that. Like,
there were 2 big discussions about Ilya's dick because of this episode. And the first was, how big is it? Is it actually 9 inches? And the second was, why is his dick circumcised in the show? And then Jacob Tierney had to like literally on one of his press, I can't remember which one, and be like, no, he is uncut.
I thought Rachel said that too.
Yes, I think she did too. I think they both were like defending this man's foreskin. Like,
no, you know what? This is why, though, I have to say, this is why when all these people are like, oh, you just want to watch them have sex, like, it's just smut. I have to be like, but I paid 0 attention to that dick pic.
I only paid attention for this chirp.
No, I paid no attention, had no idea there was a discussion about whether that was a lie or not, had no idea that there was discussion of the foreskin, was completely disconnected from all of this.
It was all over my
It was all over Twitter.
Feed.
I was hyper fixated on Hayden's irrational fucking fear that Hayden Pike was gonna know what was going on. Like, that was where my attention was. I'm here for the plot, for once.
Yeah, I think I just saw it briefly because I was like, where did people get 9 inches from? And then
in the text,
yeah,
he's like, I'm going to score 9 goals. And then he was like, why 9? He's like, 1 for every inch of. Yeah.
Rachel's face is just red.
And then literally right after it wasn't right after, it was a different conversation. Because I was like, brave if it was a lie. To then attach a picture.
Where's the girl with the ruler?
I honestly
was like, this, you marry this. This is the emergency room. Like,
like, this is fine. This is almost too much.
Sick day.
We might have to cut this out. But like
I love when you preface that.
As opposed to the rest of this conversation.
Well, I don't know. You're the one who put this chirp up. We're talking about it. And listen,
I mean, yeah.
So like, no, I thought people made it up. Or like when I saw the discourse online, I thought people made it up Just like how they make up Evan Buckley's fucking size.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
It's like Fanon.
Yeah.
That he has like a 12-inch dick.
yeah.
No.
Yeah. Okay, we don't have to cut this out.
Relevant.
Love that man. He is not holding 12 inches. No.
Welcome back to Man in the Crease with Checks Notes. 3 women and 1 non-binary person.
So I guess this brings us to our Man in the Crease, which is basically our section about our profuse love of the production of the show. The first thing I wanted to point out was, especially because this is in the opening of the episode, is the way they show the text messages on screen with that overlay, which is one of my favorite things to do because it allows for us to follow along with the conversation by having it up on screen, but also being able to see the characters' expressions and reactions to what they're typing and then receiving the other text. I think that's always such a smart way to portray like text messages on screen. And pretty much, I think throughout the show, it's almost always that like text overlay. I think there's only a couple times where it's not. One of the times where we get like a shot of the phone is when Shane is like staring at his phone in the cafe in the Olympics. The other is when he gets the dick pic and then he's like slaps the phone down real fast. But
Yeah, but if it's the actual conversation, it's the overlay.
Yeah.
I think it's only if it's the character looking at the phone and nothing is, going back and forth.
yes,
It's just their phone.
but just like the practical way in which they did it. So like the texts stay on the same side of the screen. So like your eye's not bouncing from like one to the other. So that allows us to keep track of it that way. But then the way the rest of those scenes are blocked, it has like Shane looking in one direction and Ilya looking the other direction. So it's like, even though they're separated, they are having basically a conversation almost as if they were face to face, but they're not. There's also a person on TikTok and Instagram. Her name is Valentina V. She's been doing she's been doing some really cool breakdowns of like the technical production aspects that I feel like I'm getting a lot of education out of, like the kind of cameras they use and all the lighting that they do. So I'll link those in our show notes, but like
I saw the one about the kind of camera they're using.
yeah, it's really interesting. Like I feel like I'm learning more about it, but she has a video kind of talking about this as well. But I think it's just like really smart the way they organize it.
Also really enjoy it just because that's one thing that I have a lot of trouble with a lot of times in TV and movies when I'm like, what does that say?
Right?
What does that say?
Well,
How long do they linger on that?
I was going to ask, so like, does the overlay make it easier for you to like read the text messages when it's up on the screen like that instead of like on their actual phone?
Yeah, 100%.
Cool.
Yeah,
Then
it's so much easier.
it's more accessible. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's keep doing
But
that.
I do hate it when people just show like the phone instead of just putting it on
for
the
just
screen.
like a second
Yeah.
too. Like it's like,
Yeah.
do you really want me to have
Also,
to
like-
pause this experience
Yeah.
to try to read what the fuck you're trying to tell me?
And then
Because it
lean
ruins
in like
everything.
this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Like that's when I pull it up on my phone and like shove it deeply into my face. Like, what the fuck do you say?
also like I don't know, but I
Yeah.
don't know if we mentioned this, but like I feel like it's good use of like not having to focus screen time on that, and they could be
Yeah.
doing other
Yeah.
things
Yeah.
or showing us other things. So like I find that
Yeah.
so much more better.
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
agree.
It keeps the focus on the characters rather than a boring shot of an
Literal
inanimate
cell phone.
object.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, another thing. So there's that scene where we pan to Shane watching Ilya win the cup and Hudson's micro expression. Like you can just see like how there's so
Mhm.
many emotions going through his face because like it's like, very complex because there's like on the one hand there's a little bit of like jealousy in there, like kind of wishing it was him winning. or that he was in that position, in that spot, because, you know, he does feel a little inferior to Ilya a little bit,
Mhm.
especially in hockey, right? But he's also like proud of him in a way. Like you can see like it's like there's like a small little like hint of a smile, and then in part like you can just see like, I don't know, Hudson does something with his eyes too that I'm just like, bro.
It's the coyote.
The coyote.
It's that
No.
It's that coyote.
I think
It's
he
the
said he like
weeping
wears
coyote.
like Shane wears his heart in his eyes, or
Yeah.
I might be butchering that quote, but
It was something like that. Yeah.
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 Well, and even like there's a moment watching it back, because every time I watch that scene, I pick up on like different minute emotions passing over his
Yeah.
face. And part of me is also thinking like, okay, in the sense of I wish that were me, I wish I were there. There's also like that thread, that ADHD thread of like, I wish even if I wasn't the one winning, that I was on the ice celebrating the win with him the way like the wags get to do after the
Yeah.
you know,
Mhm.
like this is my person, even if I haven't fully admitted that to myself,
like
yet.
sharing it with him.
Yes,
Yeah.
I do think there's a little bit of that yearning thrown in with the sort of I wish I were in that position, or also just like I'm happy for him.
Yeah. I don't recall if this was translated like with actual subtitles or not.
What he says when he wins the cup is that what you're
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about. He's dedicating it to his mom.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
he does say that though in the show, doesn't he?
It's in
It's in Russian.
Yeah, but it's not translated in the captions.
and there's no captions.
He says "mama."
Yeah.
So it's
right.
like,
Okay. So I filled in the blank in my head.
filled
Okay,
in the
got it.
blanks.
Yeah.
yeah, that was kind of one of those doesn't need to be translated. You'll
You'll get it once you hear
know.
mama.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I was kind of like, in terms of like what Shane's feeling, like maybe he hears that too, and he's like, so like also like kind of like feeling proud of him as well.
Yeah.
Yes. I think the way, because it's specifically illustrated in the book, and I think Rachel Reid writes what you just said, Sil. So there's jealousy and pride and like this understanding that Ilya was angry and he was doing it kind of like to say F you to someone, which is his dad, we know. So just like the way, like all of those warring emotions, it's easy to get across on the page, right? Like you can understand that's going through his mind. But the way that Hudson was able to portray like all of those at once with his face is like really incredible, because it's so complex, and we know it's complex from the page.
Yeah.
So, and I think he got it like perfectly across.
Yeah. No, 100%. It's so good. It's so good when he does.
Another scene that's worth noting, and this one is so interesting to me because it also really reminds me of another scene.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to talk about that later.
But the Vegas bathroom scene, you know, there's been quite a lot of tension building here, and they're in each other's space for the first time in a little while, and there's some frustration coming out. But the way that it like pans between the two of them when Ilya first walks in and then they're talking to each other reminds me of the scene where it's like, you come here. No, you come here. No, you come here. And they're walking next, like closer and closer, but they're not happy in this moment, but it mirrors that. Like every time I watch it, I'm like, you guys are like magnets
from the same episode, which makes sense. I think there was a lot of paralleling. That's like one or two of my other points. There's a lot of paralleling from like the beginning of this episode to the end of this episode, but like in bad ways. Sad ways.
Yeah, sad ways, emotional ways. Yeah.
Like the blocking was very conscious of like, okay, this is what we did earlier, and this is similar but different. And here's why. Sort of thing.
And I think it becomes it's already so powerful because you see the way Shane wants to be mad, but ultimately is just like melting, fucking touch starved. You know what I mean? Like, so it's already powerful because you can feel it. You yearn for them to be together, but watching it all back and like seeing how the parallels sort of go forward in the show makes it an even stronger scene when you go back and watch it again. Like, I really enjoy the angst and the tension that we draw there. I think it's done expertly.
And Hudson Williams acting in the bathroom Vegas scene again, just like
genius.
Oh my God.
Absolutely genius.
It's like everything in his eyes.
I don't think I actually talked about this at all in the first episode, but I have never felt so represented autistically by a character than by Shane in these like really emotional scenes. Like when he is just, he's just like, I'm not crying. There's literal tears in his eyes, but as long as they don't fall, he's not crying.
Yeah.
But it's like he can't actually talk about being upset without almost bursting into tears.
I mean, that's really
same.
Yeah, but it's just, I don't know. It's like I think people look at, or like they have a lot of these like very 2D visions of like what autism looks like. But like one of the things that I think people don't actually get is like, yeah, sometimes there's a lot of flat effect in our voices, but that doesn't mean that we're like not feeling. Actually, it's the opposite. We feel things very, very deeply and very, very big. Feelings are always very, very big. It's either like nothing or it's very big.
So it's like feeling so much that you're not able to funnel it properly. And then it just ends up being...
And it's very hard to like turn the feelings into words and express them properly, which I think is like a universal thing that people can relate to. But it's... Yeah. He just does such a good job. He's incredible.
I don't know how he
mind-blowing
controls like not having the tears fall, because like if my eyes are watering, I'm crying. Like they're going down my face.
sheer stubbornness and self-hatred.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, this is me speaking as a leaky faucet. Like if my eyes start welling up, I will be crying. And then I will be continuously like on and off crying for like the rest of the day, night, whenever.
I would get angry if I start crying prior to actually like getting the tears, because they do. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they don't fall. Yeah. I'll do the mouth thing. The Eddie Diaz.
Oh, the
Eddie Diaz. No, we're not crying.
I've seen us all do that.
Yeah.
During reactions. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What gives me away most of the time, because like a lot of times the tears won't fall right away, but my breathing fucking just goes out, and it's like I try so hard to contain it, and like I almost start holding my breath,
like
and then
over control.
Yeah.
Yes, I like start holding my breath, and then it's like gasp for air. Like it's a struggle.
I think, and sorry to skip episodes, but just since we're talking about the crying, if I do end up crying, I'm literally Shane and Yuna in episode 6, where it's like I'm crying, and then it's like okay, we're done now.
We're done,
and now we're focusing on literally anything else, or like something to help us get over the thing that's making us cry. Like it's
that's so funny, because
we're like, and scene, and we're done. That's enough.
I wish I could be a little more like that, because I can't. I'd be like, okay, I'm fine, and then like 20 minutes later, I'm crying again. I wish I was
crying.
I'll do that too.
When I'm done and I'm trying to reel it in, I'll start laughing, but I'm like still sobbing.
Anyways, cry.
Shifting to the Vegas hotel scene.
I know we talked a little bit about it last week with the lighting and how cool. I mean, like cool, but also like
blue.
Temperature cool the lighting is, and just like the entire Vegas hotel scene, the lighting is impeccably interesting, because you get this like really cool blue lighting, but then this also very contrasting warm orange lighting. And basically just everything about this scene is incredible, because it's like from the lighting, and they're still kind of like shrouded in some shadow, because they're also like hiding from themselves a little bit, as well as the outside world. But like also the editing for this entire scene, like the music is so good. The way the cuts get a little quicker, and just like everything is ramping up the tension like so tangibly. It was incredible. I think this scene with the music specifically is like the most like comparable to challengers just because of the nature of like
I have a bone
the
to
kind
pick
of
about.
techno
Really?
music. Okay.
People keep
interested.
comparing it to challengers, and all of you are proving that
It's
you haven't
different.
watched American Queer as Folk.
Mhm.
Because it's so, the vibes and the music of that, especially in the sex scene, it's giving that to me way more.
I think that it can be giving both. I
Sure.
do absolutely think now overall 6 episodes, do I feel like there's a strong comparison to be made with challengers? No, but there are absolutely moments. There are absolutely moments where the music and the panning back and forth, and also just it's the competitiveness between the two of them that echoes. So I see it. I absolutely 100% see it and have thought it as it was happening. I was like, oh,
Better than
this.
challengers.
It's
I'm
way
not
better than
saying that
challengers.
there
And I
aren't
love
comparisons to be
challengers, but-
made. I just think that there's better comparisons to be made with Queer as Folk.
Oh,
People should watch Queer as
Yeah,
Folk.
sure.
I've only watched
I need to rewatch Queer as Folk.
I was just gonna say I haven't watched Challengers. I did watch like maybe an episode or
good.
two of Queer as Folk when I was growing up because I think I was trying to get into it, but I couldn't find. At the time I was very young. I was super young when I was trying to find it, so I couldn't find it, so I couldn't watch it. But I did see I did search scenes on YouTube. But yeah, like I would say I would have made more comparisons to Queer as Folk for the very minimal.
Yeah.
We should rewatch it together. That would be really
I would
interesting.
love to rewatch Queer as Folk.
But back to this gay shit. And I was trying to find the article or the video where they said it. If I find it, I will put it in the notes. But
Hudson said it was the first scene that they shot when he's talking about his ass. And I'm pretty sure it's when he's talking about gaining 9 more pounds of clappable material.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So yeah,
He
just
was like nipples out and stuff, and then Connor's like nipples out, and like mouthing.
and stuff.
Watch that a couple times.
Yeah.
A few. Yeah, so like this is the first scene they shot, which is crazy to me. Like, welcome to the show. What an experience.
Talking about like diving into the deep end.
I don't think you could have done it
floaties.
more like viscerally.
No, it's perfect. It's genuinely perfect.
Yeah.
That's why
Everything
I was
about
like,
this
I
scene
don't
is
even
just,
think
like-
I can talk about it from a technical perspective because I'll just end up talking about how it made me feel. So
Well,
that's valid too. How did it make you feel?
so many
Not normal?
things.
Not
And,
normal.
like
Nothing
not
makes me feel normal.
Not normal at all.
It's like such
I
a
am
delicious
not normal
scene.
about
That's
this.
weird to say that, but like visually delicious.
I will talk about this a little bit for my next point. It's like I'm comparing the first sex scene of the episode to the Vegas sex scene.
Mhm.
So like there's such a juxtaposition like between that first sex scene, their first time. I keep saying first time. It's not like their first time they've had sex, but we know what we're talking about. But yeah, the difference between that and like how intimate it was, like purposefully, not just like in their characters and what they're obviously feeling, but like how it's shot and the lighting and the framing and the positions that they're in, because they're doing missionary for like most of it. And there's cuddling after, and there's constant checking in. Like, is it okay? Do you still want this? Still okay? Like it's just so different. And like, and they're just close the whole time. They're close from like the moment that like that Ilya shows up. They're close as they run up there. They're close as they talk before they start. And then they are close, obviously, the whole time it's happening. Cuddling afterwards, even while they're saying goodbye, they're still very close. And then this scene at the end in Vegas, it's the complete opposite. And it's like by design because Ilya needs the distance. Like, and he's the person who gets to call the shots because he won, right? Like, and you can see that he needs the distance from like earlier in the episode because of stuff that I will also talk about in a different point. But like it just follows through from everything that we see from him in these other two scenes in Vegas. But then it's like he grabs the chair, like he's on the opposite side of the room. He doesn't like come up to him and like start kissing him and talking to him like he normally does. He doesn't even open the door for him. Like he's sitting not at the end of the bed, off the bed, on a chair, watching him. Like, and then it's doggy. So they're not facing each other. It's not looking at each other. There's no cuddling. They're sitting on opposite sides of the bed.
It's so awkward.
And there's no like, and he's so rigid. He's so rigid and just like staring forward, and like there's no eye contact. It's like he kind of looks over once afterwards, but he doesn't like make any eye contact. It couldn't be more night and day different.
Yeah.
And like it's very purposeful, very well done, but it's also makes it like so heartbreaking and puts you very much, I feel like, in Shane's headspace, just because it's like you're very visually seeing on his face like how upsetting it is for him.
Yes, because this is where like you have to kind of look beyond that a little bit to see, but it's very much the if I let you get close to me for a second, the whole facade crumbles.
Oh, for sure.
Right? It's very like, and I know that's everything that you're just saying, but like to just put it out there, like,
oh yeah, we'll be talking about it more.
He is holding that distance so firmly because it is quite literally so fragile. This
it
mask,
is fragile.
this line that he's trying not to cross between them because he has fallen so hard.
Well, can I talk about my Ilya thing? Because I think that goes right into it. So like,
yeah, go ahead.
I want to offer this as a love letter to Jacob Tierney and Connor's story for, I mean, many things, but specifically in this episode, just how Ilya is portrayed and like how his mental state and where he's at and what he's going through, how it's portrayed throughout the episode. Like we start with like his relationship with his family in Russia, and we see it when he doesn't want to talk about it again with Shane. And then we see him actually in Russia, and it's just like his whole posture, his demeanor, his
totally
face,
different.
his body language, everything changes as soon as he's in Russia. I mean, a little bit when it's brought up, but it's like if he can change the subject, you know, he
usually
can kind
to
of
something
get back.
sexual.
Yes, he can get back to like more.
He's putting on that mask.
Yes, more like a happy, fun time Ilya. But like it's just like all the joy is like zapped out of him when he is in Russia, when he is with his father, when he's around his family. Like it's showing how bad things are at home with his father, like with their interactions, obviously, and how his dad talks to him, how his dad treats him, but also with Svetlana's comments, which was an amazing addition to just like have this friendship added, but to have like she's known him his whole life, like they're childhood friends. So it's like she knows how his dad treats him. And we also get to see how much further like his dad's dementia has progressed. And like all of that is being shown through Ilya, and mostly like his just like the statuesque, just like empty void that he becomes when he is in Russia and around his family. And the way that he is when he interacts with Shane, it's like, I think that's the biggest thing in the episode when we see them barely interact, but in Russia. And he's like, please go away. Like as soon as he comes up, because he has to maintain that version of him, that mask of him, so that he doesn't fall apart when he's in Russia and around his family. Like that's the protection. And Shane makes him feel vulnerable. And if Shane is there and he opens up and he's vulnerable, he will fall apart.
Yeah.
And he cannot do that.
Yeah,
so it's like, you need to get away from me because I can't fall apart. And that continues not just while he's in, you know, Russia. It continues through all the stuff in Vegas.
Yeah. 100%.
Like it's crazy. They did such a good job showing this without like verbally saying any of this for Ilya.
It was all
like,
show, don't tell.
Yeah. And you don't hear that kind of shit actually ever from Ilya out of his mouth. Like he opens up more about like his family situation, but he's never just like, I'm sorry that I like pushed you away because like if I let you in, I would have literally fallen apart and I couldn't afford to do that.
Yeah. I mean, we can talk about future episodes, right? Because in what you said where he's just like, so everything is zapped from him, just really reminds me of what Ilya says in episode 5, the Russian monologue, where he's like, they take everything from me, or I give them everything. Like he really does. And we see it so clearly in this episode that it like becomes more contextualized with with a rewatch, where it's like, he really is giving all he can but they're also taking more than what he has to offer. And he's trying to like maintain the semblance of self in a place where ironically, his identity is pretty much completely stripped away.
He can't.
Like-
he literally cannot be himself there.
Yeah,
Like,
like he's dissociating
can't.
when he's talking when his dad and the minister are talking to each other. Like
Yeah.
he's just like, I would literally rather be anywhere but here.
Mm-hmm.
Just it's so visceral, and they make it come across so well.
They do. And I just one more thing on this. I love how they show how fucking disinterested he is in Sasha. And it's not just Sasha. It's
Mhm.
how disinterested he is in the what was appealing about Sasha to begin with was he likes trouble. He
Yep.
likes danger, right?
Yeah,
He's not interested in it at all. The
No.
only thing that holds his attention at all in that entire scene is a glimmer of like, oh, I could maybe win the cup, because that's redemption, right?
Mhm.
That's the fuck you to dad and to himself. It's the redemption for himself, the fuck you to dad. But it's like all he's thinking about is Shane in that
Yeah.
scene. And then
Yeah.
as soon as Sasha finally fucks off, he's looking
Checks the
at the
phone.
text that he called boring.
Yeah.
Because it's literally like they're showing that's what he wants. Like he wants,
He
he
wants it.
constantly calls him boring, but it's like he loves that he's boring.
Mhm.
Affectionate. Yeah, yeah.
He loves that he's like safe and secure, and he feels safe and secure
Mm-hmm.
to be
Mhm.
himself
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Ugh.
with Shane. That's all.
Co-signed that love letter. Thank you.
Yeah, from all of us.
God.
It's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous, like the way that they translated it for the screen and the way that Connor portrays it is just,
It looks
Incredible.
so effortless too.
Mhm.
it does.
Just to be kind of sort of on brand, because we are usually a 911 podcast, we also do exclusive mini segments for our best buddies on Patreon. And this is where we wanted to talk a little bit about kind of combine Heated Rivalry and 911 together.
¿Por qué no los dos?
So we're about to start a mini segment. We picked that for our best buddies. Similarities between Ilya Rozanov and Evan Buckley.
Shout out to our best buddies on Patreon.
So thank you so much, Aaron, Alexandria, Amy, Jules, Nail, Quincy, Persephone, Poppy, Renice, Sheila, Stephanie, Vera, and Zachary.
It's
Either.
exclusive to the best buddies tier of Patreon.
So if you'd like to vote and or hear our special little mini segments from each episode,
And get a personalized shout out, subscribe to our Patreon.
We do want to talk a little more about the parallels, right?
Mhm.
We notated in the first episode how the beginning and the end of the episode directly paralleled each other, but that their emotions had changed and they're at different places within themselves and just physically, by the end.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of follows that pattern again here in this
Mhm.
episode. You start with the montage of all the texts where they're just flirting and amping up the foreplay before they finally get to see each other again. You can see the conflict in Shane of like, I shouldn't want this, but I do. Just constantly leading up to them being together. And then, of course, it ends with the absolutely devastating, trying to find the words for why he feels so wrong. And I have to imagine almost like violated feels like a really harsh word because obviously everything there was consensual, but like,
Yeah.
dismissed, would that be better?
maybe, yeah, like just,
Because normally the way that they part is like, see you next season, see
Yeah.
you next time.
Which he
and
did
there's a
start
kiss,
typing
there's
out.
something. Yeah.
right. Because he felt like that was what he should be saying. But
Mhm.
emotionally, he felt so differently than any other encounter. And, the realization of like, okay, the intimacy was gone during that. And just trying to decide whether he's going to say that to Ilya in this moment. And then the slow backtrack and the head thump. Like,
That
Yeah.
head thump, man.
It's
Mhm.
brutal.
So the parallel that I really love is that the ending of both 101 and 102 is in Vegas. And in 101, I don't know why I'm saying 101, like we're not even season 2. In episode 1, so in both episodes, Shane is walking away, right? He's the one leaving. But in the first episode, like Ilya's pleading for him to stay. Like he's like, no one is watching us, and like Shane is leaving, and he's like see you next season, Hollander. Like he's, looking at him, like the words that he's using are trying to like get him to come back and like keep being there with him. And then in the second episode, it's like Shane wants to stay, but like he's not being asked to or invited to. So it's kind of like another layer of,
Yeah.
Like, I guess I'll be going now. Like, bye.
I'll just wait here then in the elevator.
Every time they do this where like one leaves and it's mostly Shane, but like when they do that, I'm just like, oh, this hurts me.
Stop it.
It hurts me so bad. And I know it hurts them and it hurts me. And it's also just really awkward. It's like you just ask them to stay. Just talk. Annoying.
Say words.
Annoying.
This is why women love MLM, because men are stupid and emotionally constipated. So there's so much more angst,
Yeah.
It's one of the many reasons. Yeah.
Whereas women would just say words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So brought from Shane's internal monologue from, from the text onto the show, we didn't even kiss, getting to see that, getting to see him go into that elevator. He's obviously he's like, I don't even want to say going through the motions really. It's kind of just like he's leaving. You can feel like the wrongness in him leaving. It's and it's cold and it's like, it's just not a great feeling all around. And then having him watch having to watch him take out his phone, wanting to say at least one last thing to him, to Ilya, and typing out different responses here and there. And then just like finally landing on the, we didn't even kiss. And then him back, erasing what he texted. And that was, and it's just like, that one was more impactful because like, it was like, you're slowly watching him delete letter by letter by letter by letter. Hurts.
Yeah.
It's so hurtful. And that's how you end the episode.
You feel him reeling himself back in.
In real time.
And kind of doing what Ilya has been doing the whole episode. He's like, all right, I have to shut myself down now. Because like, this isn't the way. I can't do this. I can't make it about this. Because that would be admitting that I feel something right now.
Because he's been like balancing like these attempts to kind of reach out and like connect with Ilya. And they've kind of been put off a little bit at every turn. And this is him finally like taking the hint almost. But just like the way that this decision was made, I know we mentioned it briefly, but like to take this very internal dialogue and make it into a text to show on screen is one of the most genius creative decisions I think they could have done. Like, it's so smart.
It also makes me visualize, like when your character is holding a flower, they do the loves me not, or just in general, just like a flower losing its petals. That's how it makes me feel. I'm just like, I feel like when he's erasing every single like letter, that's how.
Oh my God, yeah.
That's how I like.
No, I'm picturing one of those stupid little stuffies that's like, you want to come to the cottage, but just like a flower.
Oh my God.
It's petals that I just made myself sad.
Oh wait, we call him your neurotic flower.
Yes.
I forgot about that. Oh, I just watched my neurotic flower shrivel up and die emotionally.
That is what happened. It's so smart. It's so smart to make that a text.
Yeah, it's very smart.
Just, like, I don't know what else to say about it.
It's genius.
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking.
And to leave it on that note is just like...
A lot of the reactors that I watched, that was like what clinched them too. That's like what really made them invested in the relationship. People who hadn't read the books.
Which is, I think, one of the reasons why having the two episodes together
was so important. Yeah.
Had such a like a visceral response from people.
I think we have 2 needle drafts to talk about.
There were a few French songs, but we don't speak French.
Speaking of French, the song by Wet Leg, I did read the lyrics, but I was like, what the fuck does mange tout mean?
Mange tout?
It means it's a snow pea, okay? But I had to go to Genius. I was like, Genius, fucking explain this to me.
Is it like eat me or eat you? Because like mange... Okay, sorry.
The word
took French in high
mange tout
school.
is French for eat all, and another word for sugar snap or snow pea is referenced in the second line. There's also wordplay with the term mange tout. If broken up, it spells out the phrase man get out, which is the underlying message in the song. It's like, she says, get out the way, like a million times in the song. And I was like, okay, thank you, because I've never understood. I was like, it's French. It's got to mean something. And then I was like, snow peas? Explain this to me. So I feel like there are layers to this. I don't want to get super deep into it, but like, I just think it's also funny that like, it's like a flirty, like bratty, bantery kind of song.
Yes.
But also,
That's a good way to explain it.
It's the fact that it keeps saying, I hope you're going to get out soon, which I just think is funny, because it's like, we hope you guys are going to get out of the closet soon.
Please.
But also get out of your own way.
Yeah, I know, but it's just like the literal, like, you're going to get out. They're not.
Layers.
Layers. I think the lines that stick with me in this song that I constantly sing to myself is, you think I'm pretty, you think I'm pretty cool, you want to fuck me, I know most people do. It's very Ilya. Good job, give you an A, a golden star, you think you're clever. Good God, she took a break, made a mistake when she met Trevor. Like, it's very much just like them and like their interactions where it's like, this shouldn't be happening, but we're doing it anyway. And it's like, just like I said, like very flirty, but bratty. It's their banter. So it's playing over the scene where it's the montage of them texting and their banter. It's a very smart music choice. All of the music choices on this show are incredible.
Yeah.
All the music slaps. Yeah.
I think at the end of the song really sticks with me too, because it's like, you think I'm pretty, you think I'm pretty cool, you say I scare you, I know most people do. This is the world. This is the real world, honey. Bienvenue. In spite of everything, I guess there's no getting through. And I'm just like, yes, like literally in so many ways for them. And then it's like, nice try, now get out of the way. Good job. Just take a fucking hint. And it's like, Ilya won't take a hint because like all of the textual hints of like Shane just leaving him on red, continually saying no. He's like, but you keep responding to me. And like, I know that you want this. So I am going to actually keep pounding you.
Yeah. And it works out in his favor.
It does.
Sure does.
It just works out for him. And then the other song I want to talk about, don't know what it's called, can't find credits for it, which makes me believe that it has to be a Peter original composition.
I think it is.
Yeah. It's the song that's playing during their first time in Shane's apartment. First of all,
gorgeous.
The vibes are very much like the Postal Service. The Postal Service, but lo-fi. I don't know. I love it. But it sets the tone really well, which is like the point. But then it's just like these very like long held out phrases. And I'll just read them. There's like 5 of them. Where were you? Please don't go. Stay right here. Don't ever leave. It's you. And what the hell are you? So it's like, it's literally just like their internal
both of them
monologues, like while that's happening, where it's like, where were you for the past 2 years? Don't go, stay right here. Don't ever leave. It's you. But also, what the hell is this? Like, what are we doing? It's just masterful.
Yeah, I really think this might be part of the original musical score, which I hope they do. I think they said they're working on it, but
they're working on it. Jacob said they're working
release
on it
because like it's so good. But this is so like the lyrics of this and I love anytime the original musical score is just them because there's something so distilled about it. This is also like at the very end of the texting montage too, like it's right before the game. And there's just like, there's something delicate about it, but that I can't quite like put my finger on. But with this song, it's their internal dialogue for both of them and kind of like what they wish they could say to the other and what they wish the other would say to them in turn. So it's just like literally laid out bare, I guess.
Great word choice.
they're trying to say it with their body language, but like they're not quite there yet, you know?
You literally just made my brain start repeating Ursula going body language.
I was like, did I make a really good point? No, I just activated your mental jukebox. That's fine.
Yep. So thanks for that.
You're welcome.
All right. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Let's go.
it's Mirror Watch. So I've been trying to take note of all of like the big mirror and window themes, because it is a very like prevalent theme throughout the show, and the windows specifically for the book. So I think there were like 3.5 like main ones or main instances of mirrors, not quite as many as in the last episode, but there are a couple mirrors in the bedroom at Ilya's dad's house, like as they're getting ready to the gala, and Grigorovich is like pouring the whiskey. I'm assuming it's whiskey, or is it vodka? I don't know. When he's pouring the drinks, it's like the mirror on the vanity, which is interesting because it's like 3-paneled, and there are 2 more mirrors on either side of the bed. But it's kind of interesting because we basically see Ilya's dad reflected in the mirror too, and that could, indicate him trying to put on this front of like everything's fine, nothing's wrong, but also like on the inside his mental faculties are like deteriorating a little bit. And then I do think it's interesting that we have Ilya in a lot of the coverage from like over his shoulder and in front of him. You do kind of see like some of the mirrors in the background of his coverage, which is kind of interesting because, as we were just talking about, he does put on this very kind of like stony survival mode facade when he's in Russia, especially when he's talking to his dad. And then there is very noticeably and obviously the mirrors, both mirrors in the bathroom scene at the Russian gala, when we're in the bathroom with Ilya, Svetlana, and Sasha. And it's just so interesting because they're like paralleling each other. So you almost get like this infinity mirror sort of view in a couple of the shots. And it's just like layers upon layers of inner world and outer world. And is this who I am? Is this who I want to be? Like, this isn't the true me, that kind of stuff. Again, just like really glancing over these, but happy to talk about them more at length. Like that scene is so interesting too, because it's also like so gilded, so opulent, and these mirrors, which is just kind of like stripping everyone bare a little bit. That's the second time I've said that in 5 minutes. I'm so sorry.
Sure is.
Deal
The
with
show is corrupting you.
Is it? And then the bathroom scene at the MLH Awards with Shane and Ilya, and we've already discussed kind of at length about how impeccable that scene is, but it's so interesting to me how this scene mirrors the Russian bathroom scene a little bit, with Sasha coming up to Ilya and like trying to get him to react in some way, and Ilya's just like, the man who can't be moved. Like, I do not care. But in Vegas, it's Shane that actually like gets him to react and move and embrace kind of like an aspect of what they have, because that is what he wants. So I just think that's really interesting that we have 2 of these bathroom scenes like very close together, and how like looking at both of those in conversation kind of fascinates me. And then the third little bit is, or the fourth, the extra little bit is the mention that Shane has in when he gets to the penthouse, or the pent-up house as we've named it in Vegas, where he's like, man, there are a lot of windows. And he's like nervous about it. Meanwhile, they're on like the whatever floor. It's the penthouse. It's so high up, nobody will see. And this is mentioned
also
in
Vegas.
the book.
It's not like it's full of fucking skyscrapers.
I know, it's tinted windows. Nobody's gonna see. Like, they all tint the windows because it's so like sunshiny. The sun is hot, and bright. But he mentions that, and then they move it over, and they move everything over into the bedroom. But like this aspect of not wanting to be seen or perceived from the outside with these windows is going to be a through thread that will, pick up every so often. I don't know if it's every episode, but pretty often. And then I think there's a mirror behind Ilya when he's sitting in the cuckold chair. And it just like frames him like a halo, which I think is really nice.
Not the
Whoa.
full name.
I
took me out.
don't think I ever
What
thought
else you
I
call
would
it?
hear the cuck chair.
She
She
dead
government
named.
named it.
Government named it. I love how we all reacted to that.
It's because it was Rachel.
Yeah.
If it was me, you guys would have been like,
Yeah.
okay.
I did
All
that
right, I
because
guess
you
we're
said
doing
the
it.
show is. I did that
Yeah.
because you said the show is corrupting me. So
There you go.
Like, I'll prove it.
okay. Wow.
Anyway.
I think it just proved your innocence, actually. The fact that you
Did
government
actually.
named
It sure did. I think that brings us. What a beautiful transition.
to the hat trick. All right, so we're moving on to the hat trick of the episode, things that happen 3 times. The first one of note is, and I mean, I feel like this just is hammered home so strongly in this episode, but Shane trying so hard to talk to Ilya and get him to give anything back because he's so locked down. So after the first time, when they're talking about the Olympics in the stairwell, he's talking to him about the fact that it's in Russia and like if his family will be there. Ilya's like not having it. And then, you know, he tries to connect with him in Sochi, but this is also coming after a loss that he knows is not good. You know, for him and his
he's under so
relationship
much
with
pressure.
Yes. So he's not here again. And consistently it's also not just about all the pressure from the family. It's the protecting myself from breaking down. And again, after the hookup, you know, and he leaves bereft and reeling. I feel like we said that in the first episode. We're going to continue to say that for a little while, not too much longer, but yeah, that is one of our line items here.
So Shane does this thing, which is so, again, deeply relatable to me, which is typing and then deleting texts.
Yeah. I mean, who doesn't do
that? Yeah.
I do that to the point where when my final text gets sent, sometimes it's a mess because I'll have like...
Me too.
Like Frankenstein
edited
something.
so much that it no longer makes
this is a
sense.
neurodivergent like flag to me. Because the overthinking thing is like a thread
that's what
with
it is.
everyone.
I end up not sending the text at some point. I'm just like, I give up.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's like I can't think of actually the correct way to say a thing that will like be perfect. So I will say nothing.
Yeah. I'm gonna make this situation worse if I don't just shut up.
Yeah.
So let me just do that.
So he's typing and deleting them texts. That's one of the things he's known for. So it just like really shows just like his like it's his insecurity and like his connection with Ilya and like how unsure he is of like what to say, what he's allowed to say. But it's also just like I don't think he again knows how to convey what he actually wants to say. So it's constantly like trying over and over again to like say the thing that like it's the right thing. It'll get Ilya to respond, but also will convey all of the many confusing things he's feeling, and there just isn't a good thing in any of those situations to text. So we see him do this like during the montage several times, I think.
Yeah.
Several times.
It's a couple times.
At the beginning, yeah. He does it before the Boston Metros game in Montreal. But he does send something, like he types something and then deletes it.
Type something again.
Else and deletes it. And then I think he sends the third thing.
Yeah, which is the I don't know.
Yeah, twice. Another impeccable autistic response. Because he took that literally and not as a sext where he was supposed to performatively say something.
Yeah.
That wasn't true.
Right.
And then after Vegas, which we've talked about.
Yeah.
At length. 9 inches.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's like Shane's almost trying to figure out the best way to like get Ilya to respond, and he doesn't quite know what that is. But like Ilya has Shane's number, literally and figuratively, because he knows like if he gets Shane a little like riled up and a little angry, then he's gonna get a response.
How to get him to respond.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. But Shane doesn't really have that insight. I mean, I don't think necessarily he needs it either. He just has to respond, and Ilya will be like, "Thanks."
But the thing is, like, he's not even trying to like. He doesn't want.
Not to rile him up.
He doesn't want like just any response. Like he wants him to open up and talk to him about the things that he is like gathering and collecting in his little weird brain, to be like, something weird's happening here and that you should probably talk to me about it.
It's
Something's
because
going on.
Ilya is Shane's hyperfixation.
Well, yes.
So he's
Saki and Ilya, that's
all these
it.
little things. He's an Ilya expert, or he wants to be. He's trying to be.
He's trying.
He's trying real hard.
So now.
So now it's time for Face Off.
Yeah.
Which is our section where we talk about the differences between the book and the show. It's Rachel Reid versus Jacob Tierney for the Face Off. I think there's exactly 4 major bullet points. So if someone wants to take the lead, and I'll go last.
I'll take this.
Or I can read them. I
I'll
don't
take
care.
the second
Just
one.
I
tell
was
me.
just
Okay.
saying what's what. Second one is okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you want?
Hold on. I guess you can give me. I mean, what else is there?
It's just these 4.
So yeah,
major
there's
bullet
only
points.
either the first or the third.
Yeah, I guess just give me the Svet. Yeah.
Svetlana? Okay. I mean, someone can just read it and then we'll bounce.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know, Han, you might be able to explain this a little better.
I can elaborate on things because I skim stuff like right before we.
I was gonna try to like read along with whatever.
This one was
episode
easy.
we're
There's
covering.
3 chapters.
I haven't finished the first part yet. I'm not even done with the first episode. I've been reading fanfic instead.
Same.
And falling asleep. Okay, so our first kind of major difference from the book to the screen adaptation is in the book, their first time together is in February 2011 in Montreal, like about a week after they talked about it in the All-Star game in Nashville. And Shane got a hotel room in the same hotel as Ilya's team is staying in. But in the show, you know, they kind of like make this plan in Nashville, and then there's a snowstorm that happens, which completely cancels the game, and then it becomes this texting relationship across like 2 years, where I think Jacob Tierney did clarify at one point that they were not hooking up in those 2 years, which
is crazy.
I was kind of surprised.
Opposite of the book.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised to learn that too. I was like, it's just off screen. We're just not seeing it. And he was like, no, this is an actual like creative story decision that they made. And so then they end up in the show being together in Shane's apartment in winter 2013. I think it was a good choice to have that kind of like prolonged and kind of slow burn that first time of theirs, which again is hard to do in a show where the characters have already slept together. But it's this like ramping up of tension and something like anticipatory about it.
Yeah.
But I was really surprised that they like purposefully and consciously decided to not have them hook up in the in-between over those 2 years. It's like, wow, that has a lot of implications for like character wise.
Because I was literally just thinking to myself, because actually Chrissy, when she started watching this, she asked me, she was like, so are they not hooking up? And I was like, well, I haven't read the books. Han, you know, told, because I think when we first watched this and people were saying on the internet, they're not hooking up. You're like, obviously they are.
Yeah. And then Jacob Tierney was like,
no,
hold my beer. No, they're not. And I was like, okay. I think it makes sense though, because I think it's a very good visual way of showing how unsure Shane, how uncomfortable Shane is in his sexuality.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like putting a nail in the coffin of his like
yeah
any part of like liking women almost.
I also think, and this is circling back to what Rachel was saying about the implications for like characterization and stuff, I think it also really sells the fact that this is not just sex. Because no one is having a 2-year textuationship.
Textuationship?
Yeah. and then finally hooking. Like, no one's doing that.
Especially if you've already hooked up.
Yeah.
Like, you're just waiting to, like, do the penetration.
Yeah. Unless you are quite literally never anywhere close and, like, don't have the ability to travel. And
they're still seeing each other for those, like, they're still playing each other. They're still seeing each other at award shows.
So they don't have that excuse of, like a long distance relationship. No. I don't have money to fly to see you across the country. Like, they are still
I can't drive 5 hours.
They are in the same town, in the same facility multiple times a year.
Yes. So they are obviously not just fucking around. Like, that's just obvious at that point. Indisputable.
The 2 sex scenes that they took from the book to amalgamate into their first time on the show is like a million times more impactful for me, because their first time in the book is, again, it's like right away, after they talk about it, they do it. And it's in Shane's POV. And he's still saying, like, why am I doing this? I don't even like that. Like, I hate this guy. So it's like, there's no emotional investment still, like, at all. And it's very, like, I don't want to say perfunctory because it's them and there's playfulness, but it's like, there's really no intimacy. But it's taking their first time, like, it's not their first time sleeping together, but it's taking, like, their first time in a building that Shane owns. I think it's literally the first time they sleep together anywhere that isn't a hotel room.
Yeah. And
that scene is literally just, like, also kind of a little bit of a nothing burger as much as, like, intimacy. So, and it's very fast.
Yeah. Well, I will say this, though. I guess we'll move into the second point here, which you've already kind of brought up, which is that their first time at Shane's apartment is just their first time at the building that Shane bought for them to fuck in.
Crazy.
It is also implied in the show that this is my business venture that I bought.
They take that part of it, but that is his apartment.
Having the choice that they made to make the first time actually be in this apartment, in this building, whether he bought it for this purpose or not, it feels a lot more in line with Shane too, because the idea that he would want to do it in the hotel where all the other hockey players are sleeping for the first time doesn't feel...
He didn't want to do it with Scott Hunter right next door. So, yeah.
Exactly. And I mean, of course, obviously, that's show lore versus book lore.
He got it on a different floor.
Yes,
like, it was the same hotel,
so
but it was
precautions taken. But just the idea, in my mind, he would be too paranoid to really enjoy himself, you know? So I do think that sort of makes this whole through line of not just, like, poor baby who's struggling with sexuality and really fucking deep in the closet, but also just, like, the extra element of hesitancy to show vulnerability when you are autistic and wanting to be very particular about the way that things are experienced. I think it works much better this way.
Oh, yeah.
A dumb metaphor, but I hope you guys will laugh. I do like the change that they go to Shane's apartment for this, because it's like he's letting Ilya in, and then he lets Ilya in. So it's like physical and metaphorical.
Yeah, and that's a thing. I think at the end of Heated Rivalry, or is it at the beginning of the long game? No, it's at the end of Heated Rivalry, where in the book where Ilya's like fucking stoked to finally see Shane's real apartment, because he's never actually been let into the real apartment. So yeah, I just think it made it so much more meaningful, and like it took those 2 years which are also just skipped over in the book, and gives them a lot more weight and meaning, and makes it translate a lot better to the screen, especially for people who are watching it who have never and will never read it.
Yeah.
I think. Also, I just think they would have had a hard time putting the actual scene that's in the fuck building, which I call it the fuck building. they took the dialogue like from the beginning of that scene. That's like the banter. That's the "you missed me," "you come here," like that's all there. But then the actual sex act is literally. This is why I made the joke that I was like, it's really fast. Like it's a nothing burger because it's like Shane is doing his favorite thing. And then just like finishes while he is humping Ilya's leg. Like it's 30 seconds. Like it's and Ilya makes a point to make fun of him for how
fast
and nothing it was.
Like what he was kind of referring to in the dialogue of the show at the end in the stairwell. It's like, remember when you know?
Yeah, because he does make fun of him for it in the stairwell as he's leaving. He's like, remember when I made you come hands-free, which is not what happened during their first time either. Oh, and they incorporated, I forgot to say this. I forgot to write this. This is like me just taking notes on the sex acts. And I know that a lot of gay people who I watched react to this episode were so excited when there was, what is a demure way to say this?
Demure way.
Don't be demure. Don't be mindful.
We're
say
so
it.
far past demure. Like
when there was ass eating.
Oh, yes.
Which is not something that happens in either one of these scenes in the book, but it is something that happens at the end of the book at the cottage. So like we still got it, but just in a different place.
Yeah. I love that.
All right, I'm done talking about
it's like, what can, how do you follow that one up?
They're taking things that are more intimate and putting it in here because like a thing that is more intimate for them, like at the end of the cottage, and they put it for their first time. So I think
it's earned because they build up that more like, it's not exactly an emotionally intimate relationship, but like they build up that relationship with them over those 2 years through the text, which you don't get in the book. So I think like it's okay for them to take stuff that was like a little more intimate further in the book and like move that up timeline wise. I think it does still work and make sense because of the other choices that they made. There, we made it academic.
I guess TLDR, we're fans of the change.
Now going back to the Muir territory. Another change that I like is that the show makes Svetlana a much more dynamic character. They really like incorporate her more and how like meaningful she is to Ilya, because like they made a reference to her being like a childhood friend, because like when Ilya is standing between his dad and I think her dad, so he's standing there listening to them talk, and she literally like saves him. And then as they walk away, both of the dads are talking about how like she's always been leading him ever since childhood. Like she's always been like that important person who sees Ilya the most and is like the closest one to him, who's just able to see like when he needs, you know, a hand, literally.
She's the person who knows him the best. Because his family doesn't. So it's really nice to see her character elevated in the show in this way. I think that helps round out some of Ilya's world a little bit, and it gives him a confidant, because like we'll know we know a little later on, like Shane has Rose and she sees parts of Shane that he doesn't share with anyone else. The same is true for Svetlana, and it's just like I love everything that they've done with her character in this series.
Yeah, I think it was important to, again, the visual and the TV adaptation, to have Ilya have a person, like an actual person who
otherwise he's just like
gets
alone.
Him and is there for him. Yeah, I mean, like Shane becomes that person, but like having someone outside of the romantic relationship.
Like a third-party outsider with absolutely no personal interest in the matter.
Who has a lot of personal interest, but it's just not romantic. Yeah.
It's basically he needs a friend. Like, because he kind of, like in the book, I mean, he doesn't really have one.
Yeah. No. Like he has Svetlana, but they are not this close,
exactly.
like at all.
No. Like they're much more of a casual hookup sort of thing. Like, you know,
or friends, like they talk, but it's not.
Yeah, and
like,
I don't know if we're gonna like
friends.
Touch more on the. I mean, because we're talking about like her being more of a dynamic character. There are some changes. Like we think that she knows it's Shane. Like when we get to those later episodes.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I think it's that I like that change. So
Which makes sense because, like, if you are someone who's known Ilya his whole life,
You would pick up on
you
this.
know him that well.
Yeah.
Like, you would pick up on this stuff for sure.
And she obviously knows, like, he's bisexual because there's a reason
yeah.
she was like, I'm going to leave you boys to talk.
Yeah.
with
Sasha.
Yeah. And it's just like, I'm doing this for you. Like it's made very clear very early on that she, like, even though obviously, like, Ilya hasn't told her because he's surprised, you know, in episode 5 or whatever, but it's made very clear that she has eyes and she is she's just very intelligent, like, on a base level, because she is so observant about hockey. She's observant about her friend. Like, she's just, like, a very intelligent character. And I think that's an important addition.
Yeah. And then this last thing is not really quite technically a difference because it's not in the book. But we will link this because you should read the whole thing. I'm only going to read a couple excerpts from it. But Rachel Reid on her website has a blog entry of Ilya's point of view for the Vegas Awards. Like, the whole thing. Is
technically
awards,
canon, even though it's, like, not in the book.
Well, yes, it's not a deleted scene. No, it's she just wrote. It was a year ago, I think, like last March. She just wrote this additional. You just wonder the same thing I wondered.
Were you wondering about, like, the timeline of her revisiting this from Ilya's POV in March, where she obviously already knew, like, the show was in development? Yeah.
It was like, I'm already defending my son.
No, I think that is really interesting. I wonder if there was something like
I'd love to ask her.
They were talking about stuff and she was like, wait, let me.
Yeah.
Doop.
But yeah, so anyway, like I said, we'll link it in the show notes because you should read the whole thing. It's not super long. I think it's probably like a couple thousand words, but I just took a couple of, like, I think the most hard-hitting moments. So these are all quotes, not all directly in succession. Ilya only had 3 minutes to pull himself together, 2 minutes and 50 seconds, actually. Ilya hadn't seen Hollander off the ice since the Olympics, hadn't spoken to him since then. He thought about him every day. Shouldn't have invited Hollander to his room. They'd managed to avoid each other for months, and Ilya could have simply let that continue forever, because that was what made sense. Shane Hollander sprawled out on Ilya's bed, offering himself as a fucking prize, did not make sense. The way Ilya was more tempted to gather Hollander in his arms and hold him all night than fuck him didn't make sense. The way Ilya knew that if he kissed him, he'd never stop didn't make sense. He needed to be careful tonight.
No.
Wow.
I mean, I've read this, but it hurts.
Yeah. He didn't want to leave the bed. This is after. He didn't want to leave the bed because when he did, this would be over. Hollander wouldn't be smiling at him, gorgeous and spent. He'd get dressed. He'd leave. Ilya would be alone. He let himself look at Hollander, trying to memorize every detail of that moment. He wanted to kiss him. He wanted to roll on top of him and kiss him until they both fell asleep. He wanted to kiss him in the morning and all day tomorrow.
Hey, Siri, play Right Where You Left Me.
I'm like, they're both, like, listening to Right Where You Left Me on repeat.
Oh my God.
I can't fucking...
This
shit.
The level of down badism.
Did it actually
It
start
did.
playing it?
And it wasn't me this time.
It wasn't me.
Is it my phone or the computer?
It's probably your phone.
Your phone.
Oh, shit. Hold on. That was
so
a
yeah,
scramble.
anyway, that
Well, after hearing all of that, I would once again say for the third or fourth time in this episode, we should kill ourselves.
we should all die.
Rip.
I really love the addition that this gives, and especially with him, like, having a panic attack basically in the bathroom, like, right, the same bathroom that he's going to talk to Shane in, because that also gives so much extra context of, like, why he was running late. Shane's like, what were you doing? Who were you with?
He literally
Ilya just,
saw
like, does
Shane
not say
and
anything.
was like, I'm gonna die, and had to go in the bathroom and gather himself.
Yeah.
So it's very much not just like Ilya's just like, this would lead us directly into our next topic.
Yeah.
It's not like Ilya's, like, not on the same emotional, like, plane as Shane. He's just as in it. It's just actually just so much, I think, worse for him because of who he has to be, because of his family and where he is from. So there's so much more for him to, I mean, like, he could literally go to jail. So,
Yeah. I think this is so interesting too, to look at the pressures that Shane and Ilya both feel about not being able to want who they want or be who they are. And it's similar kind of pressures, but it comes from two different things. With Shane, it's all internalized pressure. Like, this is what he thinks he has to be. This is how perfect he thinks he has to be. This is just like the expectations that he's set up for himself. And then with Ilya, it's all of these outside pressures, these societal, cultural pressures that are like placed on him. And both of the way that both of them feel the burden of this pressure that come from two different places, I think, sorry, this just became like very generalized, but I think is one of the reasons why like they work so well together as a couple, is because they can relate to that pressure, even though that originates from completely different points. If that makes sense. So like seeing Ilya's POV from the Vegas Awards just like really highlights that for me, I guess.
like reading this and like going back and watching that scene, I'm like, I can tell that Connor read this, because it's like, it's so like evident, and like how hard he's holding back. It's like he still puts himself in the situation, you know, but he's holding back so much. But he like has these little cracks. Like the biggest crack is like when he's in, sorry, I'm not going to use the full name, the cuck chair, and he's holding the vodka
so
glass.
Bad.
It's just, no one calls it that.
No one calls it that, man.
That's what it's called.
That's like you calling me Heather.
I understand.
Lore drop.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry. I did not know.
When he's sitting in a chair and he's watching Shane, he's holding his vodka in such a weird but sensual way.
Enticing, yeah.
And he's like, I have to stay in the chair. I have to be careful. I have to be in control. But then Shane is like, I need you. And he's like, fuck it. Like, you see him crack. Yeah. Like,
yeah,
it's so good. So sad. Number 69, 5 for fighting. Okay, this leads us directly into the sin bin topic of the week.
You want 5 for fighting, Nikki? I'm learning.
In, coach.
We're about to get 5 for fighting. For anyone who has even alluded to Ilya Rozanov being toxic on the internet. Hey, what the fuck?
Holding myself back with this fucking woman right now.
You're holding yourself back like Ilya was holding himself back.
Like, oh no, it's insane to me, the amount of actual blatant disregard for subtext or context or fucking
just
body
media
language.
Literacy.
Or yes, I feel like I said that last episode. I was like, it does require a certain amount of media literacy, but like, I don't want to call people dumb, but they're dumb. Like,
this is why this is the penalty box. Like,
yeah,
go for it.
Yep, we dropped him.
But I just no. This man is a delicate little flower who is just you know what it is? It's okay. I'm gonna give them the tiniest bit of grace in this. The reason that people have a hard time, I think, clocking Ilya's true feelings and letting it sort of feel this toxicity that doesn't fucking exist is because Shane is such a fucking pathetic liar in comparison. Shane is so obvious about everything. Yeah. And Ilya has just the barest composure.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like, this is not
You're
really,
right.
you know what I mean? This is not giving them that much grace because it's a thin line.
Yeah.
But it's
and
there.
I think what spurred it on in this episode was the Vegas scenes and then the texting at the very end. So like I said, it's very Shane POV.
Mm-hmm.
Even though we kind of get a glint into both of their POVs for everything, because it's visual, not like, textual in someone's head.
Yes.
I think because you do get to see him text out those things, and the
Yes.
things that he wants to say and deletes, and you see him trying to make an effort to like try and talk to Ilya and get him to open up. People like see those as red flags, and it's like, sure, at like face value with no other fucking context, could those things kind of be red flags for sure? But I don't know. A lot of their stuff from either end could be red flags.
Yeah.
Like,
I think closeted men, though, guys.
They're closeted men. The red flag is not them. It's
the environment
outside.
Yeah.
It's society. It's Russia. It's the fucking MLH, which is and I'll fucking say it's the NHL.
Yeah,
it's the NHL, which is rife with toxic masculinity and homophobia.
I think there's also another reason this kind of thought perpetuated after this episode was having Svetlana up there, and I don't know exactly if it's because some of the Russian subtitles didn't work at first
at the beginning
for everybody, so like some people weren't able to like get the full context of those Russian dialogues. But when she showed up at the very beginning, when the Boston Montreal game was canceled and she was already in Ilya's house. This is before we see her in Russia anyways. And she surprises Ilya and he's like, what are you doing here? Yeah. And I think a lot of people thought that she was his girlfriend and that he was therefore cheating on her with Shane, which is not the case, but like also a little bit of context.
It's so weird that that
was in the last episode.
Yeah, that was episode 1. But I guess
that was before Vegas.
But my point was,
oh, was it?
Yes, that's in episode 1 around the.
But still, but keeping that in mind, thinking about the context.
All part of the same viewing night.
Yeah. So that's my point. Okay. It's in the same viewing night. Oh well, the fucking Russian the subtitles weren't working. But still, it's like, I don't know. I just feel like I know a lot of it would have been like people who hadn't read the book and really know.
Yeah. Like, I understand her coming out of nowhere before you get the context of childhood friend, which we got in the second episode. But still, like, what about anything of Ilya made you think
but like they still got the same episode, right? So like they got episode 1 and 2 at the same time, and like it's revealed that she's a childhood friend. That
so then you lose that excuse after that.
True. Okay, that's fair.
But I also, even if it was some random girl, they aren't dating.
Exactly.
They're not
they
exclusive.
Are not in a romantic exclusive relationship at this point.
This is the monogamous mentality. The puritanical. That's what that is.
But
and because of breach containment, and there's a bunch of people who are not actually fandom people who are talking about it.
Yeah.
It's just, but it's just, like, I think where it becomes frustrating is just like you don't see his eyes also doing acting. I know we talked at length about Shane's, but Ilya and Connor's story are also very heavy on the micro expressions.
Yes,
especially during their first. Oh my god,
eyes are.
He's beyond down bad. They have to make like a new level.
It's down bad crying at the gym. I mean,
he hounded this man for 2 years.
Again, they didn't hook up during that time. He still wants him. He still wants him.
This is again the lack of media. The media literacy is dying these days.
It is.
Like you have to spoon feed people now, like what they're feeling without like looking into like the work that they're doing in the like behind the acting, the micro expressions. They're like, no, you have to tell me what's happening. No, you don't. We're losing the art here.
And I think and I hope, one of my hopes is for this show to kind of bring that back, because it's so rich and layered.
Jacob Tierney, our Lord and Savior.
I know,
Yeah.
for real. It's so rich and layered. Like, he single-handedly bringing back media literacy and combating the puritanical, like, culture of du jour, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, because there's so much layer and nuance here. This show is so nuanced.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, it's also very much because you have to one, pay attention to some of the dialogue because some of it is in Russian. You have to pay attention to the micro expressions because these actors are phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I think it's really proving that shows that I know there's been some discussion around lately about like people dumbing down movies or shows so that
this is not a
you can have
background
it
show.
as like
This
as
is
like
not
a
a
two-screen
multitasking
thing.
show. Yeah.
No,
you,
like,
you
you
have
can't-
to
Lock in.
full chest,
Yeah,
whole
but
ass,
you can't
pay
be-
attention.
you can't be scrolling on your phone with this on
No.
if you're watching
And-
it the first time. Like
and
if you've seen
understand
it
the whole story.
a cajillion times, like we will be, maybe
Sure.
eventually, but like because we know the story first and we've paid attention, but you can't. Jacob Tierney did not dumb any of this
No.
down for
No.
anybody. You have to pay attention to every single thing.
But this is
Everything's there on purpose,
I went-
meticulously.
on an incredible rant about this the other day because I was at my son's father's house and we were talking about how production companies and, you know, filmmakers don't buy into the risk of like
Yeah.
creating new intellectual property. Like, and he is like, you know, but financially, and I was like, but financially, the shit that they're making right now is not making them the money back. So let's think about
Yeah.
that for a second. But this show proved my point, and I was like, you're never gonna watch it. I know you're never gonna watch it because you are you. But I'm gonna be polite. I'm gonna keep it real.
End sentence.
End sentence. But this show has proven without a doubt that there are risks that can be taken, that they will absolutely be paid attention to by not
Mhm.
just me, like not just the actual intended audience, because they expected this to be like what, a cult classic, right? That's what they all have said. They didn't expect
Yeah.
it to
Eventually
expected
gain
a
an
built-in
audience.
fan base.
Not immediate.
Yeah.
And it hasn't just been with queer people and het women who like
Book
to
readers,
read
yeah.
spicy shit. It has been with everyone across the board, which is why it's such bullshit when people say, well, it doesn't work to tell these type of stories. No, it doesn't work because you're not doing it right. You're
Doing it
putting
right.
that character
Yeah.
in there so that you can say that you put that character in there, and then you
Yeah.
are not giving them any meaningful impact on the story or realistic life experience,
Well,
right?
it's also proving this isn't just a show for a flavor of queer people. You don't have to be queer to enjoy this show. You don't have to be in the lived experience. And that's always been true of good romance because gay people have been watching straight romance
Their whole lives.
since the
Dawn
the
of time.
dawn of,
Yeah.
of time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And it's not because there aren't options for them to watch that are queer. Like there are, but it's just that like if it's a good romance story, the people who like romance are gonna fucking watch it. If it's a good story and it's the people who like that genre of story, they're going to watch it if it's well done.
And that brings me back to the point that I was trying to find, but I
Okay.
lost the plot.
You're
which
welcome.
was
Sorry.
it
I was at fault. I went on a mini rant too.
no,
Yeah.
It was about, you know, what you were saying in the attention span of people, assuming
Mhm.
that people don't have the attention span for in-depth storytelling. This proves that we do, because people are like reluctantly tuning into this because their friends are saying it's amazing, you have to watch it, and watching the moment where like it clicks
Yeah.
and they're in it. And
Yeah.
you know, getting the text from my boss that I told to watch it and her being like, I didn't think I was gonna like this. Oh my God. like she's locked in, gonna watch it 100 times before the next season comes out. We do
We're
have
spreading the good word.
but the point is, we do have the attention span if the art is actual fucking art. And I mean, I say this as somebody who like fucking gets down on my knees for Marvel movies. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna suck Kevin Feige's dick. Like,
man. You know, that's part for
you
the
can
course for
take
this
it out if
episode.
you
It's
have
fine.
to, but it's accurate.
No,
But, like,
sending that straight to Kevin Feige.
That's actually just now the promo for
Poor dear Kevin Feige.
Poor dear Kevin.
Yeah.
Our Marvel podcast.
Here you go.
Coming to you at a time.
Eventually. But no, like I love those movies. I love the shows. I think that on the whole, like the shit that has been put out in the last few years has been much better than people give it credit for. However, it's not until this last year with like Thunderbolts and a Fantastic Four where they obviously were giving more restricted budgets and had to work creatively to do the art again.
Gotta be
and we're
scrappy.
giving more creative freedom to the directors
Yes.
and the creatives that they were choosing and letting them actually, do their vision instead of fucking micromanaging it to hell.
Yes, and the second they started doing that, people started to, maybe not to the point that they were at Endgame, because Endgame was a moment in time, but like people started to fucking tune
it's like
back
we can't compare
in.
those numbers.
People were interested. Because you have to not assume that we are all fucking idiots and that we all want the same thing all the time. That's the wrong lesson to learn. I'm sorry. Soapbox done. The point is, Jacob Tierney is a fucking genius, and we do have attention spans, and we are going to watch this shit, and I'm going to watch it over and over and over, and I'm going to put my fucking phone down while I do it. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
100. Every time I watch it, I put my phone down. Like sometimes I'll put it on, like with the intention of also multitasking, and find myself putting down the shit so I can pay full attention.
Because this also I think will also reward rewatching, because every time you watch it and pay attention to it, the more you'll notice. You'll see it with a new set of eyes, because you'll have some of that extra context from the later episodes that you didn't have the first couple times, or you'll see something in one of these micro expressions that'll be like light bulb moment. And it's like, oh, that's what they were thinking, feeling, all that stuff. Yeah. This started out as Ilya's toxic and ended up with our diatribe about how the state of the industry is
toxic.
I'm not sorry.
Toxic.
This is still sin bin behavior, because I will fight
It
on
is
this
actually
for ruining my media. Okay.
Yeah. No, 100%.
But Jacob's saving it. So
anyway, Ilya's not toxic, and if you think he is,
you
seek
are
therapy.
The end.
Yep, my only rivals are those that think that Ilya's toxic. And those rivalries are in fact heated. See you next time. I'm just kidding.
If you think that Ilya's toxic, just know that Shane Hollander would hate your ass.
Yeah.
He would hate your ass.
Yeah, that fight between him and Scott in the next episode, that would I'm imagining that.
Yeah.
I can't wait to talk about that.
Oh my god.
I almost like
talk
tried to
about next
shoehorn it into
episode,
this
actually.
episode, and then I was like, no, it's in the third episode.
No, I'm so excited to talk about episode 3.
Me too.
Actually.
But yeah, I guess just thanks Jacob Tierney for giving us a show that like
Does all the things
and makes us love it so much and have so much to say about it that we are talking about it on our podcast that's for a completely different show.
Just like brought a little bit of hope and joy to like a holiday season that felt a little lacking this year.
Oh, I was so much more excited for this show than Christmas.
2025
Christmas at the cottage was
2025
that was the
needed
best
this
Christmas
win.
present
Not
ever.
to say there haven't been like other high points here and there, but like in general, it's been a time, and you really saved the day with this one in the final hour.
And like,
Literally.
not to be all recency bias or whatever, but like, no, seriously. Like, I'm going to be thinking about this for forever. Like, you guys know I talk about like black sails as my like, that's the bar for like a piece of
Media.
like perfect media.
Mhm.
This is up there with
Yeah.
that. Like, it's black sails, heated rivalry. Also both very gay. I love it.
I mean, the
It's
best
gay pirates
things
and gay
are.
hockey players, like pinnacle
Like,
of media.
what more do you want?
Like,
You're right.
Gay firefighters.
soon.
Maybe.
Could you maybe
We're
ask for that
almost there.
one? Can we have that for Christmas next year? That'd be great.
Actually, you know what?
Yeah.
Dear Tim, my
Dear
man.
Tim.
Points to heated rivalry. Like,
Man.
May we please? May chance?
Any chance?
please, sir,
chance to
maybe
this
have
for
some more.
Christmas?
Oh God. Okay. We've derailed.
Remember, make sure your rivalries are only heated. See you next time.
Bye.
Perfect. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Buddy System Podcast.
Can't get enough of the buddies? Subscribe to our Patreon for access to our Discord community, full reaction videos, and even more exclusive content.
And if you really want to make our day, leave a 5-star review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts.
Please come yap with us on your favorite social media platform.
We're at Buddy System Pod everywhere. That's BUDDIE System Pod.
Catch you next time. And don't forget,
Bring a buddy with you.